Esto está pasando exactamente aquí afuera de la Corte Federal en San Antonio, donde esta mujer vino a una cita para seguir su proceso. Sin embargo, está acompañada por el niño.
¿Agua? Aquí tengo agua. What's the problem? ¿Quieres agua? ¿Dónde duele? ¿Qué? Ok, un momento. Un momento.
Por favor, me está doliendo mucho. No, my son, please. Por la cresta, mi hija.
Man. Excuse me, officer. This is her daughter.
Welcome back to Echo Room Vibes, where we don't just talk, we vibe through the madness of modern America. Today's episode, it's not just rage, it's heartbreak wrapped in red tape and delivered by ice. So before we go on, we appreciate all the old and the new subscribers. Thank you for the love towards this channel. So let's dive into the rest of the video and we'll be back for more commentary.
Mom. 50-year-old Yolanda crying out to her children, "They're going to take me, they're going to take me," as agents arrested her outside her home in El Monte Monday.
I just feel alone. I feel lost.
Her 21-year-old daughter, Citlali, unable to walk, had to be carried out of the car to talk to us about her brother and mother.
She's just a great mom. I wouldn't ask for anyone else.
Her mom has been by her side ever since she was diagnosed with chondrosarcoma. It's a cancer of the cartilage of her leg bone. She was diagnosed about a year ago.
Without her, I don't know how I'm going to get treatments. I feel like I'm not going to be able to go through with them without her. I need her.
Her mom was her caretaker and her emotional support, and her brother Jonathan was the primary provider, paying for rent and food.
Turn around right now.
Citlali, a U.S. citizen, says agents told them Jonathan was the target of the arrest. He was convicted of a crime more than 12 years ago.
He already did his time for that. He went to rehab. He's changed. He's really changed.
She says she was too young to know what type of crime.
Where's the warrant?
The family demanded to see a warrant for Jonathan and her mother. They say agents never showed one, but you can hear an agent tell Jonathan why they were there.
For you and for her for being convenient.
You have to stay strong for her.
Meantime, Citlali is relying on her friends for support and for help.
I think it's gut-wrenching. I think it's heartbreaking.
Maria has been a family friend for 11 years.
These people are hardworking people, right? They take care of their family. Any hardship I've had, they've came through for me.
And now she says she will certainly be there for them, and Citlali needs the help. Chemo means she can't work, and her 2 remaining brothers are undocumented and fear being deported. The family is struggling just to pay rent this month, and still dealing with the lasting image of their mother being taken away.
Felt like my life was falling apart.
We did get a statement for ICE a short time ago. They say ICE is focused on public safety, national security threats first and foremost. However, any individual illegally present in the United States who is encountered during an immigration enforcement operation may be taken into custody and processed for removal as stated by the law. The family tells us they set up a GoFundMe account hoping to raise some money so they can get through the next couple of months. We're told that her brother right now is in an ICE facility in Adelanto. Her mother is in an ICE facility in San Diego with the court date scheduled for a week from today. We're live in El Monte. I'm Akala Medina, NBC 4 News.
I just talked with a man who tells us his niece and his great-niece, who's only 3 years old, were detained by federal authorities in San Francisco this week while going in for an immigration check-in. Here's the story.
And he tells us his niece is a hard-working woman who came to the U.S. from Guatemala with her 3-year-old daughter for their own safety. They had been seeking asylum, but during a check-in in San Francisco, they were 2 of more than a dozen people reportedly detained. Now the uncle tells us they're in Texas.
Kids are kids, you know. She was used to going to the house. We have 2 cats, and she likes to go to McDonald's in the morning, and she's very active. She likes to dance, you know. I don't have any kids myself, so I looked at her as my daughter.
This is Nicole, Oscar's great niece. She was reportedly detained with her mother by federal authorities on Wednesday after showing up for a check-in at 630 Sansom Street in San Francisco.
She got a last-minute call saying that she needed to do a regular checkup as usual.
The mother's name is Jesus Jacinto. Oscar tells us she showed up on Tuesday for that check-in without her daughter Nicole, but they told her to come back Wednesday with Nicole. That's when their world changed. Oscar showed us these messages between Jesus and Oscar's wife, in which Jesus says they're going to deport us. That conversation was the last they heard from her until this afternoon, 2 days later. She called from Texas.
She called us from the center. She said that she has not signed her deportation.
Jesus and Nicole are 2 of several people who the Rapid Response Network tells us were detained on Wednesday.
At least 15 people were detained on Wednesday at the ICE building in San Francisco, 630 Sansom. And we also know that at least 4 children, to our knowledge, were among those detained, and they were detained with one of their parents.
According to lawyers of some of those who were detained Wednesday, several were transported to a detention center in Dillon, Texas. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson in response to the people detained said in a statement, quote, "Those arrested had executable final orders of removal by an immigration judge and had not complied with that order. If you are in the country illegally and a judge has ordered you to be removed, that is precisely what will happen." But Oscar tells us Jesus and her daughter Nicole were in the process of appealing their case and had been attending their court hearings and check-ins.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. When I was going to school, I wanted to be a police officer, and I always said I want to catch the bad guys. But the problem is they're catching everybody together. A lot of times, you know, everybody's just like, you know, immigrant people. But besides that, they have to realize that they're human beings.
Now at 10, ICE operations continue in San Antonio. For a second day in a row, agents are seen arresting migrants at immigration court.
And look at this scene on the northwest side. 3 people who appear to be part of a landscaping company. They were taken into custody in this parking lot of the shopping center. Tonight, KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna is following all these developments for us. Megan?
Well, Henry Easties, this is part of the Trump administration's push for mass deportations. We heard from 2 immigration attorneys who watched as their clients were taken into custody today after they showed up to their scheduled immigration hearings.
Crying out, "I don't want to die in Honduras," an emotional mother taken by ICE agents at immigration court Thursday. Another mother also placed in the same van. Her husband says she has no prior criminal history.
Mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo, dependen de nosotros.
But like most arrested, she had just had her case dismissed by a judge.
We were requesting a merits hearing, and the judge declined to set a merits hearing because DHS asked for the case to be dismissed and the client to be ordered removed, saying that it was not in the government's interest to hear a full case.
These videos shared to us show agents in the lobby of the immigration court waiting for migrants, one agent even holding what appears to be a list with pictures. Shortly after, you see agents escort an entire family into a charter bus. ICE says these arrests are a part of the Trump administration's plans to reverse former President Biden's so-called catch and release program. They are now utilizing expedited removals. It allows them to fast-track deportations for people who have been in the country for less than 2 years. These arrests are evoking fear among people who have upcoming hearings. One attorney who's representing a man from Central Africa says the option for migrants to appear virtually for hearings appears to be gone. Her client also had his case dismissed.
I feel like we portraying people who was here with credible fears. Just knowing his story, I feel like I let him down.
But
I thought they said they were going after criminals. Those are babies. Those are children, mothers, landscapers. These immigrants are showing up to their immigration appointments trying to stay in this country the right way. And how do they get rewarded for being upstanding, doing things the right way? They get set up and they get deported. Of course, they lied when they said you get to stay if you do things the right way and you're not a criminal. These are innocent babies between the ages of 9 and 12 being zip-tied like criminals, while an actual criminal, 34-time felon rapist, leader of our country, is pardoning other criminals, the cop killing Jay Sixers and Todd and Julie Chrisley. This is what a lot of you Mexicans and Latinos voted for. Not only are you failures, you are the biggest danger to yourselves, your own family, and your community. What an absolute disgrace you are, MAGA Latinos. They are rapidly deporting Black and brown people, many who are indigenous to this continent, while simultaneously importing white supremacists from South Africa, which is an entirely different continent for those who don't know.
My father is a business owner, a taxpayer, and he's not a criminal. We beg for your help.
Is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they're about to see their parents when they get home? What the fuck is this? We voted for this shit?
I know this is outside my content, but as a Hispanic, I can't stay silent anymore. And I got a question. For those who voted for Trump, is this what you wanted? Are you getting what you wanted? Are you getting what you voted for? Have some balls, put it in the comments. I want to see you. Is this what you fucking wanted? To see an elementary school graduation be raided by ICE. To have high school students, college students, first generation college students get arrested, detained by ICE. To have families broken apart. To see women crying for their children, seeing women get arrested with their children. Is this what you fucking wanted? Is it? I want to know. Because deep down, part of me thinks you were naive and didn't think this would happen. You thought he was only going for the criminals, like all that bullshit he was spewing you. Part of me wants to believe you didn't know this was going to happen. But if this is what you're celebrating, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to block me. If you're a collaborator, somebody that I've worked with before who is celebrating this, I want you to know with all sincerity in my heart, go fuck yourself. I want nothing to do with you anymore because I don't want to deal, work, or help anybody who has no empathy for what's going on. There are so many other humane ways this could have been done if this was such a big fucking problem. I got another question. What has an immigrant ever done to you? Honestly, personally, in your life, what have they ever done to you? Other than cut your grass, fix your cars, build your homes, pick your fruit, watch your kids. What have they ever fucking done to you? Oh, they came here illegally? Don't come at me with fucking law when you elected a felon. And the insurrectionists all got pardoned. So explain to me, which laws are okay to break and which ones aren't. Maybe it has something to do with the color of the skin. Maybe that's what it's all coming down to. And you know, part of me is happy that my dad's passed, because he, along with all the older gentlemen, would always tell me, man, my cousins, one day they're going to come for us again, because they were alive during Operation Wetback. Do your research. That's what that operation was called. They're going to come for us again. And you know what we all said? That's never going to happen, Dad. We're smarter now. We're more evolved. We would never allow that to happen again. How stupid was I?
All right, guys, welcome back. Yeah, so across the streets of New York, the land of give me your tired, your poor, a very different message is being shouted, or rather enforced. ICE officers, in tandem with NYPD, have reignited a national debate on immigration after detaining Latino families, some who were literally on vacation. Yes, vacation. You see, you bring your 12-year-old daughter to visit the US only to find yourself in handcuffs while your child is left sobbing, surrounded by strangers, asking why her mom is being taken. There is no good answer. There is only policy. There is only silence. Now, let's talk reality. ICE doesn't knock gently. They don't say, excuse me. They kick doors like they are starring in a 90s cop movie. Except the targets aren't kingpins. They are working families, tourists, folks whose only crime was overstaying paperwork or simply being caught in the wrong zip code. And Americans are furious. Left, right, independent, even MAGA grandmas sipping sweet tea on porches are asking, wait, this ain't what I voted for. Meanwhile, the images flooding TikTok and X are haunting. A 12-year-old girl, her arms clinging to a social worker asking, where is my mom? And the answer is cold, clinical, and wrapped in government-issued handcuffs. It's giving trauma. It's giving land of the free a side eye. Now, let's get something straight. This ain't about open borders. This is about closed hearts. It's about a government that spends more time policing brown families than fixing infrastructure, or dare we say, feeding the homeless veterans. Now, let's remember, this ain't even about drugs. This ain't about crime. This was a mom on vacation. And I'm sure you guys saw the other videos, the other stitches. Now imagine thinking you are taking your daughter to Times Square and ending up in a detention center. Plot twist, ICE thinks it's an Airbnb with bars. And don't you dare bring up they should have followed the rules. While half of let me see you all owe taxes and can't spell asylum. Big shout out to the TikTok creators, the local bystanders who filmed what they could, and to the brave souls who stitched this story with the raw reactions. We see you, we hear you, you are the real press. This isn't a red or blue thing, it's a human thing. Because when a kid gets left alone crying in a city that never sleeps, that's not about policy, that's about us. And if ICE is the solution, then maybe we're asking the wrong question. Stay awake, EcoFam, because when silence follows sirens, it's time to make some noise. From Echo Room Vibes, peace out.
jingle, echo room vibes. Beat kicks in, chill lo-fi or boom bad vibe. Catchy and melodic. Echo room vibes, yeah, we bring that heat. Set us so smooth, never miss a beat. No cap, no bias, just keeping it real. Comment what you think, tell us how you feel. One stop spot for the daily scroll. Drama, fact, and a little bit of soul. Reacting to the world with a comic twist. We roast and reflects, nothing gets missed. No agendas, just that clever spark. We shine like what it takes to dark. Respect the clip, Stitch's origin too. We give the credit, that's how we do. Whoopie beat with variation, echo room vibes. You keep us fly, shout out every end, that 1,000 guy. Like comments, be part of the tribe. Join the room, catch the vibe, fill the job. To all our subs, you keep us fly. Shout out every end, that 1,000 guy. We see you watching, don't just slide. Drop that fire emoji, show your pride.